Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Sai Rutva and myself Prakriti. Today I am going to help you understand about the topic called hallucination. So this hallucination is one of the most relevant symptoms of psychiatry, which is hardest to define and delimitate from other psychopathological concepts. It's nothing but a perception of something that is not really there. It can involve all your sense organs like vision, hearing, taste, smell or touch. To proceed further, we'll go through a case study. This case study is about a Jara who is 19 years old male. He has been admitted to hospital due to exacerbation of his asthma. Recently, he has been diagnosed with schizophrenia. Upon admission to the ward, the staff have reported that Jara has been observed staring intently at the wall and occasionally seems to be talking to someone when there is in fact no one in his room with him. Having ascertained that this behavior is not related to his asthma or to any treatment which they have been administered for asthma, the staff have concluded that he may be having hallucinations related to his schizophrenia. Next, the question comes about hallucinations. Hallucinations are sensory experiences that occur in the absence of an actual external stimulus. They also occur while the patient is awake and at a time and place where no one else has a similar validating experience. So these hallucinations are very real to the person who is experiencing them. For example, you may hear voices that nobody else hears or something that nobody else sees. Types of hallucinations. There are different types of hallucinations. So among them, we are going to discuss about visual hallucination. What are these visual hallucinations means? These involve seeing things that are not there. The hallucination may be of objects, visual pattern, people or lights. As I told you, the hallucination will affect all of your five senses. This is one among them which we call it as a visual hallucination. And the example for this is you might see a person who is not in the room or flashing lights that no one else can see. So here I have given you the two images which depicts the visual hallucinations. Next type of hallucination is olfactory hallucination. The olfactory hallucination is otherwise called as phantasmia. So this makes you detect smell that are not present in your environment. The odors detected in this may vary from person to person and it may be foul or pleasant smell. They can occur in both or one nostrils and they seem to always be present or it may come and go. And this type of hallucination can also include the scents you find enjoyable, like the smell of flowers, and also some smells which are very foul smelling. The next type of hallucination are auditory hallucinations. So these are false perceptions of sound. They have been described as the experience of internal words or noises that have no real origin in the outside world and are perceived to be separate from the person's mental process. So they are the most common type of hallucination. You might hear someone speaking to you or telling you to do certain things, and the voice may be showing you the different varied emotions like anger or neutral or warm. And the examples of this type of hallucination includes hearing sounds like someone walking or repeating clicking or tapping noises. The next type of hallucination is gustatory hallucination, which involves your sense of taste. The taste may vary from strange or unpleasant. And most of the patients who will be exhibiting gustatory hallucination will be having different taste. It ranges from metallic, then fecal-like taste, very bitter. So those with gustatory hallucination, most of the time they exhibit when they will suffer from epilepsy, or if they are having any problems with the loss of taste in case of laryngitis. Example for this is a person complaining about the food is rotten in spite of not having that food. The other type of hallucination is tactile hallucination. Tactile hallucination is a condition in which it might seem to you that you are being tickled even when no one else is around, or you may have a sense that insects are crawling on or under your skin. You might feel a blast of hot air on your face, and that is not real. So this involves the feelings of touch or movement in your body. Example, as I told you, you might feel that bugs are crawling on your skin, or that your internal organs are moving around. You might also feel the imagined touch of someone's hands on your body. This slide is about causes of hallucination. The first cause of hallucination is mental health condition, which includes delirium, dementia, and schizophrenia. The second one is lack of sleep, especially if you are not getting enough sleep, can also cause hallucination. Next, substance abuse. Some people who will hear and see voices that are most there after drinking too much of alcohol or taking drugs like cocaine. The next is medication. Certain medication which is taken for physical health conditions and mental health conditions also causes hallucinations like depression, psychosis, Parkinson's disease. Other conditions include high fever, migraines, social isolation, and terminal illnesses like stage 3 HIV, kidney and liver failure. How are hallucinations diagnosed? The best thing to do is to call your doctor right away if you suspect that your perceptions are not real. Or if you know someone who is hallucinating, don't leave them alone. In some severe cases, this will be triggered, which leads to some dangerous actions or behaviors. So, when you'll visit a doctor, the doctor will ask you about your symptoms, a medical history, lifestyle habits. Your health provider will likely to do a physical examination and order a few tests to rule out other medical and neurological causes for your hallucination. The test may include blood check to check for metabolic or toxic causes, and EEG to rule out the seizures, and MRI scan to see for any structural brain issues. Guidelines for responding to a person who is experiencing hallucinations. So the first and foremost is watch for cues that the person may be experiencing hallucinations, which includes watching an empty space in the room with eyes darting back and forth, or speaking to an invisible person, talking to himself or herself, and appearing to listen to someone when no one is speaking. The second point is, if your relationship is appropriate, directly ask the person whether he or she is experiencing hallucinations. For example, you could say, "Are you hearing voices now? Is it a man's or a woman's voice? What are they saying to or about you?" It is not appropriate or necessary to repeat these questioning frequently. The third thing is, it may be difficult for the person to concentrate on what you are saying because they are distracted with the hallucination. So without being condescending, speak clearly and keep the sentences very simple to the level of the patient's understanding. Continuing with the previous slide, the next point is, do not respond as if the hallucinations are real. Means when the person is hallucinating, don't go and join them and continue the hallucinations along with them. The next is, do not deny the person's experience. As I have already told you that these hallucinations are very real for the persons who are experiencing it. So you please try to understand them empathetically. Help the person to cope with hereditary hallucinations by providing diversions. Of course, you have to provide them a diversional therapy or activity therapy so that the person will come out of their hallucinations. Help the person to compare his or her thoughts and ideas. So ask the patient, introduce the patient to somebody else who is having the similar impressions of hallucinations. So this provides a reality testing for the patient. Next, the hallucinations may take weeks or months to diminish fully, but still encourage the person to live a full and normal life. The most important but not the least, be aware of your own feelings because self-understanding is a therapeutic tool. Hallucination, which includes relaxation training like listening to a music or humming. The next is ignoring the thoughts that comes to your mind and getting diverted from it. The third is psychotherapy. So there are many types of psychotherapy and with its own approach. The type of psychotherapy that's right for you depends on your individual situation. So psychotherapy is also known as a talk therapy, counseling, psychosocial therapy or just a therapy. The next is exercise. This also will divert you and it makes you to involve in activities. Thank you for your patience hearing and I would be happy to answer any questions you may have. Please put it in the comment section. If you like my videos, then please share and subscribe it. Thank you.